Billy got a bass back from Florida.
Growing up on the water with fishing in their blood, Matt Arey and Bryan Thrift have spent the last 10 years competing against the biggest names in professional bass fishing. Their success has landed them ranked among the top anglers in the world. If you're looking to become a better angler, then this show has all the answers. Join us and follow along to get actionable tips, tactics, and tried and true techniques directly from the pros. Welcome to Let's Talk Fish.
Sound on.
At all these beautiful places.
I don't want to look at my phone.
We're back live in the studio with a special guest, BillyGottaBass.
Hello.
Need I say more?
Full disclosure, we moved everything back again, so...
So, the last episode, we were back in, it's confusing, I know. We were back in Jeff's guest house / old studio. You didn't know this, because you don't watch our show. If you watch our show.
Yeah, man, all the time, dude.
Who was on our last show?
Brian knew.
Oh, we were talking about it earlier. That's what we were saying.
I knew that.
You don't sound very good, but keep going, I'll fix it.
You don't sound good. You
It's
don't
almost
look
like you're
good
muted.
either.
It might have been a button pushed when I was in my truck, riding around, just throwing stuff around. Billy, you sound good, though.
Sound good?
You sound good.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
We are, we're at 116 viewers. Guys, last show we had, what was it, 600, Jeff? 600? What do you, Jeff playing with cords, y'all, so if you lose picture, sound,
No, it literally sounds like you're muted.
and everything else. Oh, they said listen, I'm just going to go ahead and come out and say it. I get here at 6:15. Jeff, have you tested everything? I don't need to test anything. It works phenomenally. I already see like 12 comments where my mic's not working.
I think I figured it out. Just
Yep.
hold tight. Keep going.
Y'all let me know when my mic starts working.
Got him. Got him.
Benjamin Ott said for once we can't hear Matt.
You're good.
But I don't.
Well, it's nice to be here. It's nice to be back. It's been a while.
I'm gonna turn this over. I'm gonna turn this over to Billy since my mic's muted or Jeff turned me off on.
You were
purpose.
panned to the right, and all my audio is coming out on the left channel, so you were coming through our mics.
Oh,
Look how
Perfect.
white my forehead is. I should have worn my hat. It's weird.
which hat would that be, Billy?
My Lunkertex
All right,
hat.
so that's what we're gonna talk about tonight. We're gonna talk about not just Lunkertex. We're gonna talk about Billy's first event as a professional angler. I'll give you a quick rundown on how my tournament in Knoxville went. It sucked. It was the worst one of my career. All right, on Billy. It was
What?
so-
I'm listening over here. I'm not paying
nothing.
attention.
In all honesty, so the Bass Elite tournament over in Knoxville, Tennessee, at Loudon and Tellico, it was. You never stop learning in this sport. I can promise you that. I don't care if it's your first event as a professional angler, like Billy's was this past week, or your 140th event as a professional angler, like it was mine 2 weeks ago. Tough event, needless to say. It was tough to get a keeper bite. It was hard to generate a lot of bites, and usually that's kind of what I like to do in tournaments. I just feel better when I can generate a lot of bites. As some guys are okay just fishing for 5, but I like to generate a lot of bites. And that was an event where you were not able to do that. Real quick on Knoxville, that was congrats to Gussie, because what I want to touch on about learning something every time you go out. I don't care how much experience you have or how long you've been tournament fishing. I went into that event kind of closed-minded. I already, I had done my research and seen how the guys caught them in the Classic a couple years ago, and everybody was cranking and doing this and doing that. Water conditions, much colder than it was during the Bassmaster Classic 2 years ago when Ott Defoe won that event. Water, when we got there on the main channel, was 45 to 47 degrees, and that's pretty cold. But that was, the fish were still, you were still able to get some bites cranking slow. You still had to cover a lot of water, but you had to fish slow, if that makes any sense. The issue there, one thing that I learned is Gussie, and big shout out to Gussie. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met while fishing professionally. Just a great dude, and he deserves that win. And obviously he pretty much ran away with it. We said before the event when my roommates and I were talking that if somebody could somehow weigh in 20 smallmouth, they would walk away with this event. Mm-hmm. But 20 smallmouth there, for the record, had to be 18 inches. He did that. We didn't think it could be done. Because the way the lake was fishing, but he did it on one of the most obvious areas on the lake. If you look at it for smallmouth, as far as there's a canal that connects two lakes, there's current because it's pinched down at the mouth of that canal, and there's giant rock piles. Those rock piles, I mean, I saw them idling out from the boat ramp one day down there at the Tellico boat ramp, and you see them, and it's one of the most obvious looking areas and structures on the entire lake. But because that technique, what he was doing, and the time of the year is not a normal deal, and it's what our research didn't show us anything about that bite. The locals didn't even know about it. If they do, I've never heard anybody talk about it. I'm sure there's some fish caught Damiki rigging, but Jeff tapped into something that no local that I know of or anybody else in the Bassmaster Elite Series, which y'all know how many good fishermen are fishing the Elite Series, found. And that's what blows my mind. And it wasn't like it was a grind for him. He was smashing them, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Smashing them. I mean, he might not have caught like 20 keepers a day, but he was catching 15, 20 fish a day. Smallmouth have to be 18 inches. He was still catching a bunch of 15, 16, 17 inchers. So he absolutely dominated that event with something that was somewhat obvious, and we still all missed it. So there again, it goes back to what I always say. I think sometimes fishing is so simple we make it hard. That was unfortunately for Jeff, when we go back, that will probably never happen again. That fish that place may never hold a keeper smallmouth again. So that's how many locals were probably sitting on it the next day after he left.
Sure.
But I'm going to talk about one more topic, and Billy, you can weigh in on this too, but I want to know y'all's opinion. So I think that everybody was following the MLF, the Red Crest deal. I don't like the fact that those weights are zeroed. Okay, Thrift, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, for the record, deserved to win that event. I think it's a professional level event. You should be based on cumulative weights, and I know they are in the initial rounds, but they're zeroed as they go to each round. This is the old school FLW style. They used to do that back in the day with FLW events. They even used to do a head-to-head back in the day with FLW events, or the cup, the championship. And Thrift had an issue the final day with, there was a big ABA tournament going on, okay, down at Eufaula. The guys were practicing during the Red Crest tournament. They were out there trying to do their thing. And I didn't know this till Thrift told me the other day, but he said, yeah, man, he said, when I went out there that final day, there was a bunch of ABA guys all over, some of the stuff he was catching them on. Now, whether they found it on their own or they saw Thrift catching them off of it, that's I don't know. I don't know the facts, so I'm not going to spit the facts. I can take a wild guess, an educated guess on what probably happened, but to my point is, even with that factor and that variable the final day, if it would have been a cumulative weight event, Thrift would have still won the event hands down, no problem. And I just felt like he was robbed. I'll just come plain out and say it.
he dominated the whole thing, right?
The entire event.
Yeah.
Until the last day. And there was multiple reasons why that happened, and not just making up excuses. I mean, the facts are that he couldn't get on his stuff. A lot of the ABA guys were all over it, and he had to just go practicing again. And still, as good as Thrift is, he just had a little bad luck the final day and just didn't stumble across him, because if Thrift stumbles across him, he's absolutely going to smash him. But I just always feel like cumulative events, multiple day events, should always be cumulative. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I just feel like Thrift was robbed, more or less. And congrats to Dustin, thank you. That ended up winning the event. I don't want to take anything away from his win, but I don't like how that went down. I mean, and Thrift's my buddy. We always pull for our buddies, but I think that would have been a tough pill to swallow. But Thrift will win his fair share of tournaments, as he always has, and he will continue to do so.
He will.
So what's your take on that?
Well,
the cumulative weight versus a race in the weights.
No, I don't like that. I mean, dude, he dominated all week, and then, but that's the rules. So, it is what it is. But I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what Michael Cates said. Thrifty, it's official. He just needs to move to the elites.
And I get that it's the rules, not that my opinion even matters.
It does. It does. I'm sorry, Jeff.
I'm just gonna say, I get everybody's on the same playing field. Everybody plays by the same rules. But when you smash them that much,
you deserve
yeah.
it.
I mean, he literally didn't fish half the day. I mean, he could have kept on. If it was cumulative, he would have just kept on smashing them, and it would have been out of sight by like 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all remember this. You probably don't remember it, and I don't know if you remember it, Billy. But back when I first started fishing FLW as a co-angler back in 2005 and 2006, there was a format in their championship where they had head-to-head. So let's just say there was 40 guys that made the championship, right? Forest Wood Cup at the time. The first place guy would fish against the 40th place guy in the first round. Okay.
Oh, it was kind of inverted like that?
Yeah. So let's just say you were the angler of the year, you were first place, and I was 40th. You and I would fish head-to-head first round. Nothing else mattered. If I caught 25 pounds and you caught 26, I'm still out of the tournament. Okay. I'm out. I'm done. And then they did that head-to-head down to the final 10, and then the final 10 fished on the last day, and that was not head-to-head anymore, but just those 10 made it to that last day. Okay, so point is, there was guys that caught enough weight to maybe be sitting in third place after 2 days in the entire event, but got eliminated. Mm-hmm. And that, to me, is wrong. And I think they did that for, kind of an entertainment aspect of it, a fan engagement aspect of it. And I don't know if the fans like that or not. I just know from a fisherman's standpoint, that's tough, man, because this is not tennis, where you go out and you play one match and it's over. This is you're rewarded based on consistency over having to adjust to changing conditions in multiple days. That's what makes a great angler. So that's why I don't like one-day tournaments now. I mean, I don't dislike. I like one-day tournaments. I don't get to fish them much anymore.
For fun, not for living.
Right, not for a living. Like if all our events were one day, it would be a lot different. It would be a lot different. But yeah, this is I didn't know that, Ty Robbins. Thank you. He said, can we get some prayers for whatever's going on with Mark for BTL? He said he hasn't hosted any shows this week, so I have not heard anything. Mark Jeffries is who Ty's talking about, but our prayers and thoughts are definitely with Mark. We hope everything's all right over there. I know Billy just came from the Open where he was rooming with Matt Pangrak. Is that how you say Matt's last name? Pangrak. I didn't want to butcher his last name. But Matt is his co-host for BTL. And so do you know what's going on there? Or?
No, I don't.
Okay. So, but let's jump over to the Derek Westfall he said, under the MLF rules, the person that has the best tournament doesn't win. The person who has the best last day wins. Doesn't seem like a true representation of who was most dialed in. And that's my point exactly, Derek. You said it very well, because I do feel like Thrift was way more dialed in than anybody else in that event. And I can say way more because, I mean, he was doubling second place's weight, come on. I mean, it's pretty obvious
Fishing
how
half
dialed in he
days.
was. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And, all right, so we are going to jump over to Billy's first tournament.
It was exciting. I was excited.
You were excited?
I was excited.
I followed that tournament
I was
closely.
nervous.
I followed that tournament more closely than I have in a lot of tournaments in a long time.
Really?
I really did. I had a lot of friends fishing it, but I was excited for you, man. That was a cool event, and I want you to talk about it. First of all, you got some new sponsors on board this year.
I do.
You want to talk about your new sponsors?
Well, Lunker Text. I think Lunker Text is. I think everybody knows about Lunker Text, don't they?
If they don't, they will.
If they
Maybe.
don't,
Yeah.
they will.
Has
I mean,
everybody
should.
has everybody seen the commercial? Like, what's everybody think of the commercial?
it's so
'Cause
funny.
we shot it right here in this building.
Yeah, we did.
It was pure insanity. It was pretty fun. Not knowing anything about what was going to go down, it was pretty fun.
Well, listen, if you don't know about Lunker Text, go to lunkertext.com. It's a subscription service that is free, okay? It doesn't cost anything, and you get deals sent to you via text, and you just reply with how many deals you want. And it's good tackle, and it's cheap. And if you want to sign up, you can go to, BillyGottaText.com, and you can sign up under me.
Is that your link?
That's my link.
BillyGottaText.com?
Yeah.
Oh, so you have your own custom
So
link.
yeah, he's like, hey man, where are you, Florida? He's like, I need something cool. Like, I need something I can remember. So I set him up, BillyGottaText.com.
And I almost
Billy Got a
forgot it.
Text.
I was like, dang, what was that link? So BillyGottaText.com. If you sign up through that link, then you're signed up under me, which would be cool.
Yeah, and guys, it's free to sign up. We had a few haters at first. I know, and this is Jeff's brainchild.
Did
for
we?
anybody that. Well, this is pre-Billy. That, and I'm not gonna say haters. I'm just gonna say they were like, well, why we got to enter a credit card? I'm like, because if you want to buy something, you're gonna have to.
Yeah.
So Jeff said, you know what? He said, the heck with it. I'll just let people start signing up without a credit card. He said, but when they get a deal sitting to their phone, they have to enter their credit card information in order to make a purchase. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like Amazon. Anything you buy online, you have to. I mean, come on, y'all. You got to enter a credit card number.
How I would love to send everybody free tackle.
Yeah.
I'm just not in a position quite yet to do that.
But that so these deals they're pretty insane. Billy's seen some of them, and I get them to my phone.
And they all sell out super quick. So, I mean, if you wanted to buy one and you didn't enter your credit card information, then you got to go through that whole step, and you're going to miss the deal anyway. So.
Yeah, sometimes because bundle numbers vary based on inventory, and if you never know, it depends on what the deal is, especially jig deals and things like that. They seem to sell out like hotcakes.
Yep.
So we don't want anybody to miss out on the deal that they actually want to participate in. But it does save. I mean, what is it, like anywhere from 30 to 60% off retail typically?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, roughly 40 to 45 on
40
an
to
average.
45. Okay.
But yeah, we do have some bigger deals for sure.
I'll be honest, the first week I signed up, I bought 2 deals. He did. And Jeff calls me, he's like, dude, stop. And I'm like,
I called him. I was like, "What are you doing, man? Just come by. I'll give you the tackle."
It's too good to pass up. It's
Yeah.
too good
it's
to
like,
pass
it was
up.
like 4 spooks or something. I was like, ooh, I could use them. And then it was War Eagle spinner baits. I'm like, ooh, those are kind of nice.
Well, then you bought the. I think you bought some maybe missile quiver or something.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
I'm going to Florida next week. I need
Yeah,
those.
those worms look
I was like,
perfect.
all right.
Oh, and there's a special sign-up deal now. What is it, Jeff? First order for $5 guaranteed.
So your first bundle. If you watch
First
the
bundle,
commercial,
sorry.
when I'm walking up the steps, and old Abe Lincoln, old honest Abe, hands me a box, says,
Right.
"First bundle for $5." So for a limited time, I'm gonna do it as long as I can because, to be quite honest, Jeff loses a lot of money on this deal because you're getting
Well, yeah,
like
you're
$30, $40
Right.
bundles for $5. So. But your first bundle is $5 for as long as I can do it, which is pretty cool. I just want you to try the platform out, really, because the people who do it, like Mike Harris is on here, he's like, just ask Jeff, I buy a lot. Mike buys almost every deal. And he's done it for a long time. So I just want you to try it because it's pretty cool. And the more people that buy, the more tackle I'll be able to buy and more buying power. And as soon as this COVID tackle thing gets leveled out, it's going to get even better. So,
Billy,
it's
Joe
pretty
Gentry
fun.
wants to know what your link is again. Can you say that again?
BillyGottaText.com.
BillyGottaText.
GOTTA. That's where people mess up. BillyGottaText. GOTTA.
I've seen a couple questions about can you use PayPal. Unfortunately, PayPal does not support our technology yet. They are actually working, my developers and their developers are trying to figure it out, but they actually don't support the technology yet. So we're kind of new to the, it's kind of a new thing. It doesn't exist, only 2 places. So we're working on that.
I'll get into the hot sauce prank. I see a couple comments about that. They tried to prank me with hot sauce in the house. You weren't at that event, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But I want to hear more about, obviously, Lunkertex has jumped on board with Billy, the title sponsor this year, Fishing the Bass Opus. Trucking boat looks flipping awesome, by the way.
It does look good.
Yeah, it looks really
Does look
good. So talk about your first event, going into it, practicing. So first of all, Billy, for anybody that doesn't know, tell them who you're rooming with. You got a good crew.
So it's me, it's Andrew Upshaw, Bradley Hallman, Matt Pangrack. Did I say his last name right?
You're the one who told me how to say it.
Yeah,
so
I think so. And then Kyle Walters. I mean, all those guys are like great fishermen, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Very
they really are.
commentators.
And then there's me, and I'm like this knucklehead, man. And I just didn't want to do anything stupid, you know.
Now,
like-
wait a minute. If I'm not mistaken, you were leading the house after day one.
Well, that was just pure luck, I guess.
No, I had confidence.
Well-
Confidence breeds success.
Well, I was confident that tournament. I mean, I worked hard, dude, from daylight to dark every day, you know, practicing. And I had a plan. And, well, to talk details of the tournament, that Tuesday at practice, man, I was fishing my area and I was just I was expanding on it, right? And so, and one thing that I was doing, I was kind of trying to get specific with and this is one thing that I do that kind of makes the lake smaller. Like I was catching fish, all right, with a trap in hydrilla, but I didn't stop there. I went as far as saying, okay, most of my fish are coming in the 4-foot range. Okay, so I was kind of eliminating, 2 and 3 foot and 5 and 6 foot. But what that does, it makes the lake smaller for me because I mean, you get on a lake for the first time, which is not my first time on that lake, but the lake is so big it can be overwhelming. So the more you can dial it down to specific stuff, Even though maybe I could catch them in 3 foot, which I probably could, but it just made things smaller for me. It made the fish, the lake fish smaller, which helped me. So I had this bite, and on that Tuesday of practice, I couldn't get bit, man. I mean, it was just one of those days I couldn't get a bite. And I even went to my best spot, and I said, okay, I'm going to catch one fish here. And I couldn't catch one, and I fished it for 2 hours. So it kind of spun me out a little bit. And so when the tournament, it come tournament time, man, I was scared, dude. I didn't want to zero, my first tournament. But there was good fish there, but I kind of bailed out on it, and I went to Griffin. And, Griffin is a lake where you can for sure catch a limit, usually. It didn't work out on day 2, but so I went to Griffin, and I ended up with a pretty good bag, right at 13 pounds. And so I was sitting in great shape. And do I keep going? Or I mean, you want me to just keep going?
I want you to keep going.
Keep going. All right. Well,
You
so
gotta finish
so
the event.
here's where I messed up. I mean,
the good with the
looking back, here's where I made a bad decision. Like the second day, I'm like, okay, well, I went to Griffin yesterday and I had a good bag. So if I could just do that again, there's a chance I can make the cut, or I'd be close for it, and I'd be happy with the finish of the tournament. So I go to Griffin, and man, they just didn't bite. There wasn't any wind, and it was just tough, man. And I ended up with, I caught 11 or 12 fish, but I caught a lot of shorts, right? And
Under 12 inches.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like 8, 10-inch fish. Yeah. So so whatever. So. But that's where I messed up. I should have went to Dora, which is where I'd found the other fish. I should have went there first, and give it like 2 or 3 hours, and then if it didn't work, go to Griffin. But I know that takes a lot of fishing time away. But looking back, that's what I should have done. But the second day, I had 3 fish. One of them was a line burner, and I was scared to weigh it in, so I threw it back, and I weighed in 2 fish.
Mike Nolan said, "Can you use shiners?" Cannot use shiners.
I wish.
It's all artificial. So Billy's first event, good first day, not so good second day, but you learned a lot.
I did.
You learned a lot. And Florida, now Florida's a different animal anyway. So, every time we go to, dude, I've had some horrible finishes down there. I had some good finishes down there, and I had some in between finishes down there. And Florida is a very unique state in the fact that obviously you're dealing with a lot of shallow water vegetation. You're dealing with fish that spawn in all different cycles throughout like a 4-month period,
right?
And you're dealing with a lot of fishing pressure. And the lake system that you were on, to me, the challenge at Harris Chain, it's always hard. I don't like fishing in crowds, but it seems like there's certain areas. And I saw your roommate Upshaw. I saw some pictures on Bassmaster.com and showed him, and he had a good bag the second day. And every picture it showed, there was a bunch of boats around him, And I think a lot of those guys caught them. I don't know where they were. You said they were over in Big Harris somewhere, but that's one of the reasons I don't like Florida, because people will jumble up in real small areas and they catch them like that. You know? And you can't get away from it, and it just makes it a little bit more challenging mentally, because when you watch your competitors over there whacking on them, it doesn't make you feel great, does it?
Yeah.
Did you have a lot of pressure on your stuff in Griffin?
Yes and no. There was a lot of people out there, but I kind of went off to my own and kind of found my own fish. And so that was good, on the first day. But the second day, man, I was like, dang, did I catch them all? Here's the other thing with Florida. Florida lakes are so shallow, it's easy for it to get interrupted, like a lot of wind, or the temperature drop a couple degrees.
What did you and I talk about during practice?
Huge effect on the water temperature. Little things in Florida, can really affect how a Florida lake is fishing.
You and I discussed that in practice, and that's one thing that I've learned in Florida over the years, and I still break that rule. But it's always finding that secondary area that's for an opposite wind or an opposite water quality. Because if you get a hard, like Okeechobee, you can literally, the water can drop a foot just based on wind direction. Maybe not quite a foot. Well, it can drop a foot depending on how hard it blows. Water clarity can change. And we know Florida fish don't like dirty water. It's tricky and it's different. But you were fishing the entire Southern Open division. The next event is at Douglas, correct? In April.
Is. Yep.
And then your third and final event will be at Lake Norman in September.
Yes.
Right? Yep.
Yes.
Billy and I might actually take a little vacation, not vacation, a little I don't know, fishing trip to Norman on Thursday. Might go up there and mess around a little bit. I hear they're
Remember
biting
last
people.
time we went, we took Jeff? You remember that, Jeff?
I do remember that. I forgot about that.
That's not the last time I went. That's the last time you went.
So
It
it
might
was
have
Jeff.
been.
Jeff was in your boat
Yeah.
with somebody else.
The Nutcracker.
LaHue
That's
and
right.
LaHue was that the
LaHue
LaHue
was
and
there,
Cobb?
Brandon
It was
Cobb.
LaHue
Yeah.
and it was Thrift and I had a challenge against LaHue and Cobb, and y'all were kind of on the back end of that. But
Why
y'all-
can't we just be in the challenge
Yeah,
too?
why were we on the
because
back end,
y'all
Matt?
weren't initially part of the challenge, but
But you could have said and
You
us.
could have.
Well, I was
Matt.
trying to be nice
You could
because
have.
y'all didn't even bring a fish in that day.
Yes, we did.
Did
We
you?
had like 14
Just threw
pounds.
them
We
back.
threw them all out.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, we threw them back. We had enough to win. We threw them back.
Nah, we probably didn't catch, but probably 30 or 40 fish. It
Yeah.
wasn't that great. Who was with us?
Kyle Nettles wants a 10-minute
The
heads
Nutcracker.
Huh?
Nut.
My buddy.
His
Yeah,
buddy
my
named
buddy
Nut.
Yeah, Nut was with us. Yeah. That's right.
10-minute heads up on the trivia question so he can pull over because he's driving and listening. Kyle Nettles, we'll give you a 10-minute heads up. We do have a trivia question tonight. I'm not giving away the answer. I am in charge of the trivia question tonight, so keep your ears open
What?
and your eyes peeled for me to ruin it. No, I'm kidding.
Oh yeah.
We're giving away an Angler's Choice performance shirt and a hat tonight, and we do have a good trivia question tonight. All right, I saw a bunch of comments earlier about the hot sauce. So anybody that doesn't already know, I'm back rooming with still rooming with Scott Canterbury, but back rooming with Scott Martin, who's
Oh,
back
on
on the
chips.
Elite this year. Yeah, and a guy I saw a comment on here earlier about what kind of cookies. My mom made me a little snack to take to Knoxville, Billy, and it was these little. I don't know if you've ever made them or if Tally's ever made them. The little Ritz crackers with the cheese and like the ranch seasoning and stuff in them. They're like little Ritz sandwiches.
Yeah, I know what you're talking.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah, I
about?
know what
So
you're
they're
talking
really, really good. And in all seriousness, they pulled a pretty good prank. But the problem is, anybody that knows me doesn't know how much hot stuff I eat. Everywhere I go, at any time, breakfast, lunch, dinner, I have jalapenos, I have hot sauce, I have 5 different hot sauces in my refrigerator right now. I have the Swamp Gator.
Yes. You're welcome.
I love it. Yeah, thank you, Jeff. I have just a habanero, homemade, like a custom little habanero that my neighbor Kyle gave me. I have Frank's. I have Cholula, and I have Texas
Is
Pete.
Frank's even hot sauce? That's like
Eh.
that kind of Frank's is. I could probably drink Frank's, and I don't even like hot stuff. It's good.
It's good.
It's
It's good.
good.
Cholula's good too. Cholula's got a little bit more kick, but
I'm gonna eat some of that tonight, actually.
You gonna have some Cholula tonight?
Yeah.
Are
If
you-
we're going to Pleasant City.
Well, we might just do that.
Ooh, I just gave that away. Everybody's gonna be there for Billy's autograph.
So hot sauce. So this is what they did, Billy. Now, this is a pretty good prank. Now somebody said earlier Billy wouldn't have let him do that if he was there because he missed the last event because he was fishing himself.
Probably would have.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Billy would have. He would have probably started the prank. By the way, we have a prank that we're going to get Scott with. We're not going to say it on the air because we don't want him to know what we're
yeah?
going to do. But next event, yeah, he's
Texas? Is that the next one?
no, it's in Pickwick. Pickwick.
Oh, that's the next
Are
one.
you coming to that one?
I don't know. When is it?
We leave next weekend.
Oh, dang. So soon.
Let's go, dude. I'll ride with you.
I
You want to
think.
go?
We'll ride together.
You want to go?
I
I
might.
won't go.
So Clarence, they
What
weren't
else I got to
cookies.
do?
Let me go back
All
to
right.
this prank. Let me tell you what they did, dude. So they took these little Ritz crackers that my mom had made me, and it's like one of my favorite snacks. And Mom knows that. And I got pretty pissed off, for lack of a better term. I came in from practice after the first day. So they first of all, let me backstory this a little bit. Jake and McCoy and them had stopped at one of those giant gas stations that are so popular in Texas. Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's, yeah.
Buc-ee's. That's
Yeah,
what they are.
yeah.
I never even heard of them, and they showed them to me online. I'm like, wow, those look like mini Walmart with anyway, lots of cowboy food and hot sauce. But they bought this ghost pepper sauce. Like it was like on a scale of 1 to 10, it was supposed to be like a 10 plus. They take my snacks, my homemade snacks, and they take all the crackers, the little Ritz crackers, out of it except for like 5. Now this was a Tupperware about yay big, about that tall, slam full of these things, okay? And I just got there. Now I just started practice. First
Well,
day.
like filling or something?
Yeah, they got little homemade cheese filling in them with like
Ooh.
ranch seasoning and stuff on them. Dude, they're phenomenal. They're awesome. Anyway,
That sounds good.
and if you're watching, Mom, I love you and thank you for my I mean, it's one of my favorite snacks that she makes. I'm telling you. So you know how passionate I am about this snack.
Can you make double next time if you're watching?
Well, I mean, if you get this prank pulled on you, it's not going to matter. So what happened was they took all of them out, okay? They wrapped them up in saran wrap and hid them, except for like 5 of them. Those 5, they took apart, unscrewed them like a little Oreo, took that ghost pepper sauce and put it on the cheese, and then screwed them back together. Like Perfect. A little, yeah. So, and then they put those 5 in there. So not only when I got in and I pick them up to eat some, they're all gone except for like 5 of them. So
and you're definitely going to eat the 5.
So you're already pissed off because they ate them all.
I'm pretty pissed off, okay? Yeah. I'm like, oh, thanks. At least y'all let me 5. Left me 5. And you got to know, the guys that are staying with us, McCoy, Jake, Adam, that are there all day editing, that's all they do is eat, okay? Yeah. All day long. That's all they do is eat. Billy knows.
Right.
I mean, what else are they going to do?
Yeah.
Well, Jake takes naps.
Yeah.
But other than that, they eat, okay?
Yeah.
So I legitimately thought they ate them all. And I was a little pissed off at first. But then I got over it and I was like, screw it. There's 5 left. I'm going to go ahead and eat those. And without even thinking, I grabbed 3 or 4 of them and threw them in my mouth. Well, it's got that ghost pepper sauce in the middle, and then I get really pissed off because so first of all,
is this on video? Because
it's on one of Scott's videos, the tournament video, the practice video, or whatever.
This was Knoxville.
Yeah, this was Knoxville. Yeah, so I go in there and I'm like, guys, like first of all, you ate all my mom's snacks. Okay,
what exactly did you say?
I'm not going to say exactly what I said. I mean, I guess I could, but I'm not.
Nah.
There might be kids watching.
He was big mad.
I was big mad, buddy. But then you take the 5 that are left and you put hot sauce in them. And I said, first of all, if you're going to prank me, don't do it with hot sauce. You're going to have to come up with something better than that. I said, it's spicy, but it ain't that bad. And if you watch Jake in the video, he tries it when they first get it, and dude, he's like got steam coming out of his ears. I mean, Jake can't handle the hot stuff, apparently. But it really wasn't that bad. But anyway, then Jake's like the nicest one probably. McCoy's so-so, and then there's Adam. He's from Minnesota. So Adam, I love Adam to death, but he's just different. He's a Minnesotian. He's Minnesotian.
Right.
And Jake brings them out in that saran wrap, all the other 400 crackers that they didn't eat that day that I thought they ate. And I was so pissed off, I don't even think I apologized to him. But I'll tell y'all now, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I got heated. I'm sorry I got so mad. But next time,
don't mess with my crackers.
Yeah, don't mess with my crackers. That's right. Don't mess with my homemade crackers. And by the way, let me tell you what else they did. They couldn't stop, dude, trying to get me with the ghost pepper sauce. You know those bags of Takis?
That's what I saw. They were put in the bag of the.
Yeah. So they tried to get me with that, but the dorks put so much in it that when I reached in there, it was like reaching into a soggy, wet. It was so wet. I was like, Mama didn't raise no fool, and all I had to do was I'm like, that's a no-go. Takis are already hot anyway. I don't know if I'm saying.
So did it make the video?
Oh yeah, it made the video.
I saw the bag part. I didn't see the other one.
Little parts of it made the video.
Right.
I don't think Adam films a hunting show, Ty. I'll ask Adam next time, but Adam's a good dude. I like Adam a lot. He actually stood up for me a little bit, and the rest of them are just trying to constantly play jokes. But that's all right. Hey, what goes around comes around.
That's right.
What goes around comes around. All I know is they better hide everything that they own, because you never know. You never know. Greg Beloff said, who do you recommend for prop work locally? You know what? I'm not sure who does prop work. Who does prop work in South Carolina or North Carolina? Do you know anybody? Have you ever had a prop rebuilt? No. I know U.S. Propeller Service does prop work. And I think they're located somewhere around Lake Norman. You may check U.S. Propeller Service out, Greg. I think they rework props here locally. But tell me, Billy, I want to hear about Doug. Like, which of the 3? So you did Harris Chain, you got Douglas, and you got Norman. Norman's the closest one to you. Which one of these 3 are you looking forward to the most? You've already fished one of them, but was Harris
probably the one? Yeah,
probably the one you were looking forward to the most.
I love that lake, man.
You just love Florida. Hey, your PB was at that lake for a little while.
Yeah, for a little while. Yeah.
And that was like what? How big was that one?
It's like 712 or something.
712. I know you caught that. You were practicing with Scott.
Yep.
I could take you to that hydrilla. Well, there may not be hydrilla there anymore.
There is.
But I could take you. Oh, there is. You
Yeah.
checked it out.
Yep.
I could take you right there to where you caught that fish because I was right behind y'all when you caught it. I remember
Yeah.
that. I remember that. Okay, there you go. Mike Nolan dropped a name down there for you, Greg, on a guy to have prop work done here locally. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's something else. Thanks, Tyler, for reminding me. The Sabine River Bassmaster Elite Series, so Texas has lifted some of their COVID restrictions, and they are back. We are back to the original date of April, if I'm not mistaken, 8th through the 11th. They had rescheduled that event tentatively for August, and now they're able to move it back, which as an angler, we're all happy about that. We don't want to fish. I was not really excited about going to Louisiana in August and fishing a tournament. I don't know if you're over there smiling.
Well, I was reading Josh Perryman's comments.
Josh on there?
If you got something you need to address,
No,
okay.
he's just being
You don't want to address
Josh.
that one.
Is he talking trash?
No, he's just being Josh. No. Josh and I, when we fished co-angler together, we would always make up stories what we were going to tell our pros when we called them. Like, when you're co-angler, you call your pro that you're fishing with the next day, and you're like, "Hello, sir. What time do you want me
act
to
like a
meet you?"
goofball on purpose?
Yeah, but we would call them and be like, "Yeah, man, what's up? Listen, be sure and bring a bag of ice and sausage biscuit for me, and I'll see you down there in the morning." And anyways.
So now that you're a pro, did you reverse that? Did you play any jokes on your co-anglers while you were down there?
No, I didn't.
You don't have any good co-angler stories or anything?
Oh, I do have a good co-angler story. Actually.
Well, let's hear it. I
Well,
wanna hear
day
a good
two.
co-angler story.
Okay, so day two. All right, this guy, it was the first event he's ever fished. All right, nice guy from Minnesota, and so are you listening?
I'm listening.
All right, man, I don't like you looking at the phone.
I'm trying to follow
I need some
comments here.
attention.
Give me just
Darn.
here.
All right, so that's weird.
I need
So
to get a look.
anyway,
Trying to have a medium here, Billy.
listen. This is good. So this is the first event he's ever fished as a co-angler, and well, let me tell you this. First thing in the morning, I'm out there.
I thought you already were.
I'm out there in the middle of Harris. I'm throwing a prop bait.
Practice.
Right?
Practice or
No,
okay,
tournament.
Okay,
so I'm trying to get that early bite, right? And all of a sudden, I turn around, Matt, and he's going. He catches a 5.5 pounder.
that's how he was fighting it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just
We
like
won't
that.
say any names.
Just like that.
Not
So
saying
anyway, fast forward to the end of the tournament. We come in at weigh in, and I'm like, I go get 2 bags. He's sitting in the boat texting, and then so I come down and I'm like, all right, dude, let's get your fish first. So I put water in his bag, and I hold the bag there, and I'm like, I'm gonna let you put your fish in. He puts his fish in, and then I get my bag. And then I put water in it, and I lift, I start putting my fish in there, and then I look up, and he's gone.
Are you hoping your co-angler's there to hold your bag for you at least?
Yeah, he's gone.
He gone.
He's gone, dude. He's done went away. I'm like, he's not supposed to leave me. We're supposed to stay together. So I go up there, and
That's actually a tournament rule.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
I forgot about that.
So I get up there, and I'm at the tanks holding my fish, and I see him up there at the very first tank. And guess what he's doing? He's doing like this in the tank. His fish got out of his bag and swimming around. How big are those tanks?
I don't know.
500 gallons?
100
I was
gallons.
going to say a couple hundred gallons.
Yeah.
It's like 100 to
Yeah,
150.
his fish are loose, swimming around in the tank. True
Karma,
story.
That's karma, dude. He
True
left you
story.
hanging, then all his fish. Did he get them all?
He did, yeah.
Did they have a net for him? They usually have a net up there in some of those tubs.
No, they didn't. He
they
caught
by
them, dude.
hand?
He was like barehanding them. Yeah.
Those things are tough when they got
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
little area around them.
Yeah, you and you can't see good in that. You think because the water's so green and it's treated with the chemicals and stuff to keep them alive.
Those jokers disappear.
That you could drop a 10-pounder in that Rubbermaid
Yeah.
thing.
You
and
can't see him.
You can't see him. You could feel around for him and not feel him. It's the weirdest thing, dude. I've watched people at FLW events in the past when I fished at FLW and they'd lose a fish in one of those tanks. Dude, it'd take them 15 minutes to find
Yeah.
him.
Well, the other pro was standing there, and he was like, "Really, really?" And I was like, I was like playing it
Was
cool,
that
like,
Upshaw?
yeah, that's my co-angler back there. Just shake my head,
That's funny. Yeah, I've seen that happen a handful of times, but not. They've always. Sorry. Go ahead, Jeff. You got
Before I forget, I got an email today from Pulsefish.
Yes.
So Todd sent a deal out. I think it said for like 24 hours
Okay.
on the new swim bait heads
Okay.
for 30% off.
Okay. On the new swim bait heads.
The new swim bait, not the swim bait heads,
All right,
the new
so
swim bait
no-
heads, and I think the code was swim bait 30.
Was that the video? Was that with my video that I did with the swim bait head?
No, it wasn't a video. It was
Okay.
just an image of you holding it. But
All right, so that's good to
Yeah.
know. So Pulsefish Lures, who's a sponsor of mine, also sponsored the show. They have a new swim bait head out that I did a little video for Todd. I think it's been dropped in the Pulsefish group, possibly.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe on some Facebook ads and things like that. But the new swim bait head that they launched, it's the same head that's used in the actual Pulse jig head, but it's got a really nice keeper, really good hook, really good collar, keeps the bait up really nicely. But Jeff just let me know they're doing a 30% discount on all swim bait heads.
and it said like 12 or 24 hours. It's not going to be long,
Okay,
obviously.
12 or 24 hours. Y'all can get over to pulsefishlures.com.
The code was swimbait30.
Swimbait 30, easy enough. Swimbait 30, 30% off on the Pulsefish swimbait head. So check that out. Obviously, it's been bouncing around social media day, but if you didn't see it or hear about it, you've got apparently not long to jump in on that deal.
Yeah.
Swimbait 30 over on pulsefishlures.com. Jump in on the swimbait head deal. All right, so let's see.
Hey, since we're giving out deals, I'm gonna throw this out there.
You got a deal?
You got a deal?
I do.
BillyGottaDeal.com.
If anybody wants to try a favorite rod, you can go to favorite rod USA .com, and you go to the shopping cart, and the promo code you put BGB 20, BillyGottaBass 20, BGB 20, and you'll
For what?
get
20 rods for free.
20% off. 20%
favorite.
off. Yeah,
Favorite
favorite
okay.
fishing rod.
Sorry.
That's a good deal.
I
It is a
missed
good
that.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah, 20% off is good.
We're just throwing the deals out here, man. Just
Deals,
throwing it out
there's
there.
deals everywhere. All right, what time we got, Jeff?
747.
7:47. We got about 12 minutes. Any questions? Oh, Jared Albright has a question. So any questions, y'all shoot them over to us. I'm watching the feed. We got about close to 200 viewers right now. I wasn't able to get back to all the questions before, but I'll scroll back up. Billy, if you want to scroll back up and you see any questions you want to address, let us know. Gerald Albright wanted to know where we are out of. I don't know if that's referring to Let's Talk Fish. We are all out of Shelby, North Carolina. Billy's from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Lunkertext is also based in Shelby, North Carolina. And our studio, our new studio that we're in now, I think we've had, 2 shows here maybe?
Maybe. Well, Jeff, KJ was in here. Brian New was in here.
And
Fat Cat was in here.
Yeah. And
TJ,
This is the fourth
Wacky
show.
Worm
This is the
didn't
fourth
work.
This may be the 4th show.
Okay,
I
4th show.
tried it. Day 2.
Yeah, so we're actually, this new studio is a side room off of the Lunkertext warehouse. Did I say that right, more or less?
Yes.
And so we're all located in Shelby, North Carolina. Our guests are obviously from all over. Josh said, make me buy something decent for dinner.
No subs.
No subs. I hear you, Josh.
Man loves subs.
All right, I saw somebody wanted Mr. Todd Gode's on here. He wanted a Pickwick preview. Pickwick preview is, I have the little bit of research I've done. I've watched 2 things. I've watched 3 things. I lied. I've watched water levels and current. Current has been anywhere from 130,000 to 180,000. Okay, that's ripping. That is ripping. Water levels, last time I checked, were around the 411 mark, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, is about 3 foot below summer pool. The warming trend that we have this coming week, which all over the southeast, we're going to have like 4 days of 70-something degree weather. But what I look at more this time of year than anything is the nighttime lows. Nighttime lows for 3 or 4 days in a row are going to be in the upper 50s. Okay, and that's what to me triggers the biggest movement in the springtime. Now, the only thing about Pickwick and a lot of the Tennessee River is those fish will delay regardless of weather to an extent based on fluctuating water level and things like that. I could see Pickwick, the weights lately have been absolutely unbelievable. There was an ABT tournament, Alabama Bass Trail had a tournament there the weekend after we were in Knoxville, and there was 19 bags over 20 pounds.
Oh, wow.
It took 27 to win, and the top 10 bags were a mix of largemouth and smallmouth. So some guys had all smallmouth for 20-something pounds. Some guys had all largemouth. Now, I think the winning bag of 27 was all largemouth. But I hear it's on fire, and I cannot wait to be there. It's definitely going to be night and day difference from Knoxville as far as the quality of the actual fishing. The water temps are going to be a little higher. The fish are going to be on the move. It should be a great event to watch. There's going to be some giant largemouth and some giant smallmouth weighed in. I think this tournament's going to be somewhat of a sleeper. It was moved originally from June back to March. And when that happened, guys were real skeptical, saying, man, that could really go either way. But the way it's shaping up right now as we speak, it's going to be a slugfest. And as a tournament fisherman, I don't know if I like slugfest as much as I do grinders, but it is going to be a lot of fun to watch as a fan because there's going to be a lot of different techniques going on, and there's going to be a lot of different ways to catch fish, and there's going to be a lot of big brown ones weighed in and big green ones. So it should be an awesome event. It wouldn't surprise me to see 20 bags the first day over 20 pounds. I mean, that's possible. That's very, very possible, especially with the crew that's going to be there. These guys are going to find them. These guys are going to catch them. Shaping up nicely to be a great event. All right, let's get back. I saw some questions. You see something you needed to address, Billy? No?
Will Lunkertex start selling other stuff besides tackle? I think washers and dryers. What else you got coming? You got a lot of stuff
I think
coming.
the commercial
Yeah.
said something about horses.
Lots of stuff. Horses.
Yes, but obviously we're starting with tackle. But
yeah.
different types of gear, but definitely more towards bass to start with. But we do have the ability to sell all types of species tackle and gear.
Maybe branching first over into some of the terminal tackle areas. We've talked about hooks and weights and things like that.
We've done a few deals, but we're going to get 100% more into that.
The
for
terminal
sure.
tackle. So Derek asked that because it's he said besides tackle, rods, reels, terminal tackle, scales, etc. ? Scales would be a good thing to run a deal on.
Yes.
Terminal tackle, like Jeff said, there's been a couple of those deals out there, but there will be more in the future. Lunkertex has partnered with most all the major brands in the industry. I mean, you name them, we pretty much are set up with them now for the most part.
For the most part.
But we save you a lot of money. It's definitely what I've seen is it's the most convenient. It's the easiest way to ever make a purchase in our industry. I mean, in the history of our industry.
It's pretty easy.
I mean, you get a text and you click, you type in one and you hit send, and it's coming to your doorstep. That's all there is to it. You don't want it, don't respond.
That's right.
It's that simple.
And the best thing about it is, I mean, and I'm not going to call any names, but there's other services that they just send you a box and you don't know what you're getting. You know what I'm saying? So you pay the money every month and you don't know what you're getting. This, you know exactly what you're getting, and if you don't want it, you don't buy it.
That's right. That's right. All right. So I don't know. Mike Nolan want to know if Pickwick's been infested by silver carp like Kentucky has. I don't know if there's been reports of the carp on Pickwick. If there has, I don't think it's taken a big toll on it based on the way the fishing's been lately. But that's I'll let you know. I'll figure that out. I'll figure that out a little bit more next week for sure if there's a bunch of silver carp in there. Let's see. Derek, I think you nailed it, man. He said somebody will catch a 6-pound smallmouth, 6-pound plus smallmouth there. I have no doubt in my mind that'll happen. He said someone will have a 10-pound largemouth in Pickwick. Now, what people don't realize is there are giant largemouth in Pickwick. Yeah. And there were several 7s and several 8s weighed in that AVT tournament. It would not surprise me. If you're going to catch a 10, March is the time to do it. But it would not surprise me, Derek, to see both of those come across the stage. All right, let's see. Will there be a dirty 30 at Pickwick? God, the way the weights have been coming in lately, it wouldn't surprise me either. I mean, I could see a 30-pound bag. And, this sounds crazy, but I could see some upper 20-pound bags, some 25, 26-pound bags of smallmouth. I mean, I could. And they say it's the best time of year. I mean, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. All right, Mike Harris said the Falcon deals that came through the Lunkertex platform were great.
Yeah, and Josh responded to him that we need to do more Falcon. So apparently there is a Falcon hook deal coming down the pipeline that's probably going to be pretty smoking hot. It's going to be good.
Scott Fell said he's already jumped on the swim bait head deal. So it's still active, as we know. As of right now, it is still active. The 30% off. Go to pulsefishlures.com and get on that swim bait head deal. All right, a couple more questions. We're going to jump into our trivia question. You got anything to add, Billy?
Well, Tim Newby's asking about the adventures with Billy and Brandon. Man, Brandon got a girlfriend, dude. That's it. I mean, there's nothing else to say. He got a girlfriend, so he kind of came off the road. I don't know.
Yeah, that's everybody's asking about Brandon. With Scott's videos and that thing. Well, that's kind of died off a little bit because McCoy's doing such a awesome. Fine job.
Yeah, he's awesome. Dude.
He is. His editing is unreal. And of course, Adam and Jake and all of them are. I mean, that's a good team, man. They got a good team, and they put out some good work. But Brandon. I mean, Billy said it. I mean, you can't put it any other way. He met a girl.
Yeah.
And he disappeared.
Done.
Done. All right. Let's see. I saw something on here. Kenneth Chu wanted to know about shipping on the Lunkertex platform. You want to tell him about shipping, Jeff?
What was the specific question?
How much does shipping cost?
So normally shipping is $4 per bundle. So, and the bundle may be 4 or 5 bags of baits. It may be 5 or 6 spinner baits. You know, we lump it all together to make it worth it. So it's normally $4, and if you get 3 bundles or more, normally shipping's free. So we have an option on every deal to get free shipping.
And it's close to if I'm not mistaken, the totals of a lot of the the retail sites that have $50 or $75 minimum orders to get free shipping, and it can be similar to that as far as value. It just depends on the bundle. It depends on the deal.
Yeah, we don't have many bundles that high unless we've done a couple.
No, I'm
reels.
saying if they buy multiple ones, then it probably can.
Yeah,
can kind of.
I'd say our average bundle is probably $20.
Yeah.
18
that's right.
to $20. We try to keep it affordable and a good deal, and worth it.
Justin Boyd wanted to know if the fetch is going to play at Pickwick, and Billy and I were talking about that earlier today, and he'll be headed to Douglas in April, and he'll be stocked up with some Lunker Hut fetches on his before he leaves for Douglas. Justin, I hope it plays, obviously, and I will be looking for that in practice to see if the good thing about that fetch is it will show you if the fish are close. It'll show you real fast if they're right where they're going to be right before they do their thing. I could foresee that tournament being a little tricky based on fluctuating water level. It may keep a lot of those fish positioned out. It may keep them with the current. Based on what the current does too, it could keep them jumbled up really tight. So I think there's going to be a lot of fish stacked in some small areas. It's March. That's the good thing. I don't think it's going to fish quite as small as it would have if we would have kept it on the regular schedule in June. That would have been a ledge fest, and guys would have been all over top of each other. But I'm excited. It's one of the events I'm more excited about this year. That one in Lake Fork, obviously, but Pickwick in March is something I've never been to that time of year, and I can't wait to go there. All right, we got a question about how come none of y'all are fishing the new Pro League? Well, I'm assuming J-Mac's talking about the NPFL. The NPFL is a new professional league that started this year. I believe it starts this week, actually.
This week,
week down in Alabama, and I got some buddies that are fishing it. I'm committed to the Elite Series. I have no reason to leave that platform, to leave that league. Very happy as far as where I'm at. You can't do both because there's too many overlaps in the schedule. But Billy chose to fish the Bassmaster Opens for multiple reasons. Billy does have a day job. He runs a very successful scrub business called The Scrub Shop down in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
TheScrubShop.com.
TheScrubShop.com. And he, Billy doesn't need to go out and fish an 8 or 9 or 10 tournament series because with your schedule and what you got going on in the house, I think you're smart doing what you're doing.
Well, I'm fishing those three. I'm fishing those three, the one Southern Series, and then I've committed 4 tournaments with you guys, with Scott.
That's right. But you don't know if you're going to be a Pickwick or not.
I can't remember if that's one of the 4, dude. I mean, I got the schedule made out, but I can't remember.
All right.
I think it was like borderline. Borderline meaning it might be the 5th, I think.
So that means you're not going?
I'm not sure.
I hope you're going.
Yeah.
Canterbury bailed on our house, I think, man.
Huh?
I think he's going to stay with, I think he told Jay, our buddy Jay Yellis,
Really?
he's going to room with him. I think he's going to, divide his time. I feel privileged just to get part of my week with Canterbury, though.
Huh.
I mean, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's really
I'm just
doing
kidding.
that?
I'm just messing with you.
Ryan Shario says,
No, yeah, he
I can
really
answer
is.
that question for Billy.
What?
If you qualify for the elites, are you going?
Probably not.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know,
I'll
man.
answer
going.
that for you. Look, when I made the decision to fish professionally, I didn't have a successful business on the back end like you do. And that's the biggest thing that you would have to, I mean, that's a huge decision.
I've never wanted to be a professional
Right,
fisherman.
right.
I mean, listen, this stuff just kind of fell in my lap, and I was given an opportunity, and I'm like, yeah, well, I'll do it, and I'm just kind of rolling with it, and wherever it goes, it goes. I mean,
You're
but
having fun.
I never claimed to be a good fisherman. I mean, you know what I'm saying, and I feel like bad pun to use, but I kind of feel like a fish out of water. You know, I mean, I'm pulling up at this huge tournament with all these professionals and everything, and I'm like, okay, don't do anything stupid. You know, like leave the back straps on the boat and try and back it down, and you know what I'm saying?
Did you do that?
No, I didn't. Thank
You
goodness.
have before, hadn't you?
But I did like back the boat, and I was like, oh my gosh, why won't it move? Did I leave the strap on? And I was like, I know I didn't leave the strap on. And all this is going on in my head.
Did you get out and
Meanwhile,
check?
everybody's like,
Just to make
get out of the way. You know?
All right, Mike Harris said that was a shameful plug for the scrubshot.
Scrubshot.com.
The scrubshot.com. All right, so Billy is undecided at the moment if he qualified. for
He's
the Olympics.
going.
If he-
Yeah, I don't know.
He'd go.
But hey, what about this? What if I won a tournament? Would I fish the Classic?
Absolutely.
That would be
Well,
embarrassing.
duh.
Why would you not?
But, I mean, what do you mean, would you? Of course you would.
Why would you not?
Because that's a big stage, man. They have to get up there and say, yeah, I didn't catch
Do you
him
know how
today.
many people
I've never heard that comment in my life before. If I
That would-
qualify for the Classic, I don't know if I could go.
Depends on where it is.
you know how many people
Is that what
would
you're going
like
to tell them when they invite you?
Yeah.
Depends on
I'll
where it
get
is.
back to you.
you would fish the class? There's no way.
All right.
Yeah, I probably would.
Let's,
You're fishing the class
Hey.
if you qualify.
Derek Westfall wanted you to give him a couple fantasy fishing picks for the Lake Pickwick
Who, me?
Bassmaster Elite next week.
Buddy Gross.
He won at Pickwick before. Did you know that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do know
So you've
that.
done your research.
I do know that. Who else? Wow, it's kind of caught me on the spot.
You have to give him more than one.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking. You know what? I like. You're not gonna like this, but I like Scott.
Obviously not me.
I like Scott Martin, and just because it's
like
it's
Scott.
going to be a sight fishing tournament.
No,
It's not.
no,
You don't think so?
no.
Really?
No, I really don't.
I mean, the water's 60 degrees here.
Yeah, but the Tennessee River. See, you obviously didn't listen to anything I said during the show.
With the flow of the water, you thinking it's colder? Yeah, a
No,
lot of flow.
That's not even what I said. But okay. But I mean, that makes sense. Actually, the current keeps it a little cooler.
This is awesome.
With the flow of the water. it's
This is
colder.
great.
Yeah, I mean, why don't you look at the ceiling? Did that help you think?
I was thinking, man.
Okay. All right. So Buddy Gross, that's all you got.
Buddy Gross and Scott Martin.
Okay. All
Because
right.
it's-
Buddy Gross and Scott Martin. There you go. Robert. Always. Robert Ratray. Is that one of your buddies?
I don't know.
He said, plug for what? Question mark. The Scrub Shop. Oh, he spelled it wrong. He said the scubshop.com. It's top quality and great pricing. Always fast delivery. Can't go wrong.
Yeah,
There you go.
rat. Yeah.
All right. Todd Goad. Thanks. Yeah, I know Justin Boyd, Todd Goad. They're all like, how about Matt Arey? How about Matt Arey? I mean, how about him for your
Well, that's
fantasy
the
team?
obvious.
I mean, I know
I've
I
already
suck.
taken Matt. Actually, I took you on the first tournament,
Oh, good. You didn't take me in Knoxville.
and
Good. Good boy. Good boy. All right. I think I've dropped all the way down to how they have buckets in fantasy fishing?
Yeah, I saw you in the C column.
Yeah, no, I think I'm in the D column
Really?
now. After my fine 80th place showing, I think I'm in the D bucket. I don't know what bucket I'm in.
That's where the money's made, though.
It's true. That's true.
When I won fantasy football that year,
What? Huh?
I won.
I don't think you can't make much money in fantasy fishing. Not like fantasy.
No, like what's it called? The fantasy football?
Fantasy
Not
football?
fantasy football. What's it called?
fantasy fishing.
No, football.
Fantasy football.
I'll tell you.
What's the big fantasy football thing?
I don't know.
Like DraftKings and what's the other one?
Never played in my
FanDuel.
life.
I won FanDuel a couple years
Pandora.
ago,
FanDuel.
Oh, FanDuel.
and it was my lower guys.
That yeah,
Yeah,
it showed
All
out,
right.
man.
All right.
Danny Woodhead.
Ryan Crawl. That's a good pick. Because
Nobody picks him.
Atkins has had a bumpy start this year. I've had a bumpy start this year. Atkins and me are in those sucky buckets, and Atkins is a hammer on Pickwick.
That's
and
where you
knows
make
that-
your money. I'm telling you.
knows that lake like the back of his hand. I do not see Justin Atkins having a bad event at Pickwick. I see him doing very, 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 very well at Pickwick. All right. It is time for our trivia question. Clarence Belcher, that's about right. He said, Billy says, obviously, don't pick Matt. Obviously. I'm going to win. You didn't pick me.
I
I'm
hope
gonna
you
win.
do, buddy.
No, you don't. You
Yes,
didn't
I
pick.
do.
You didn't even recommend me for fantasy fishing. All
I'll
right.
pick you. You didn't even ask me.
All right, you got picks for Pickwick, Jeff. Ready? Go. Fantasy fishing Pickwick for Pickwick.
Matt
Pickwicks
Arey.
for Pickwick. Picks for Pickwick.
Matt Arey is my first pick, always. Because I start with the lower guys first because you make your money in those bottom buckets.
Just hoping for him to shine just a little bit.
I'm going to throw New in there, too, just because I think he's probably got another win under his belt this year, honestly.
Hey, it wouldn't surprise me.
I could see
wouldn't
that.
surprise me. All right. Trivia question time. This is for the Angler's Choice Performance Shirt, Angler's Choice Hat, and this trivia question relates to Billy's first event as a professional angler at the BASS Open down at the Harris Chain of Lakes. And I need to know in pounds and ounces what Billy's largest fish that he weighed in during the event. What his largest fish. I didn't even write down the answer, man. I need you to write the answer down again.
I was going to ask.
The largest fish. So that's
We couldn't write the answer down.
Correct. If I would have had it in front of me, I would have said it out loud sometime during the show. But where's that? Oh, I see it. Okay. All right. So I need in pounds and ounces Billy's largest fish he weighed in during the Harris Chain. It was not a 16-pounder, Clifford.
What's the answer? Whoever sees it first
Got
wins.
off.
Yeah, we
Cliff.
got you. He said. Billy
Got
said-
off,
Billy said
man.
that was got
Darn.
off.
I just missed
I don't know
it.
what number you looked at on the paper, but that's
Yeah.
great.
Whoever sees it first can
All right.
Man, they
we'll
going
pick-
call
big.
a winner because I'm hungry.
I got some buddies fishing Smith Lake this week down there for the FLW. Excuse me, not FLW, the MLF Big Five
Brian,
tournament. Good luck to those guys. And got some buddies fishing the NPFL inaugural event this week.
close.
And good luck to that crew. Thrift is absent tonight. He's over in Tennessee doing a little gig. I don't know. He told me he's doing something. I can't remember what it was.
Down, guys.
But he's fishing. I know that much.
Close.
He is fishing. Are you talking to yourself?
Well,
over
I'm
there?
talking to them. Everybody's like,
There's a couple closest.
there's the winner.
Yep, I
He's
got him.
giving
Go
them
ahead and
hints.
call it.
All right, who's the winner?
Jim Hill.
Is that the same one you got, Jeff?
Yep.
Jim Hill is the winner, and the answer was what, Billy?
4 pounds, 2 ounces.
4 pounds 2 ounces was Billy's largest bass from the Derby down there in Florida, and that was on day one.
Yep.
Correct. And you had a respectable bag that day, but you also told me that you broke one off and you lost 3 or 4 too. Did you lose any that would have helped you that day?
I don't think so.
Not that you know of.
Not
anyway?
not day one.
All right. So let's Jim Hill, if you'll send us a message with all your shipping information, and we'll get that sent over to Mr. Trent up at Angler's Choice Marine in Martinsville, Virginia. He'll get your. Let us know what size shirt you need too, and we'll get that performance shirt and that hat.
Don't he win like $5,000 or something too?
ASAP. Yeah,
I think
from
it was
the Scrub
$5,000.
Shop.
From
From the scrubshot.com.
Man.
$5,000, $5,000 donation.
I thought that's what
from
we were.
BillyGottaBass.
I thought that's what we're doing. That's why we invited
See,
you,
wait,
dude.
when you shoot your mouth off,
yeah, I
see
know.
what
I
happens?
should have been prepared for that.
That's why. I mean, I called you. I was like, "Hey, Billy, you want to be on the shot? You want to be on the show tonight?"
you
Yeah, dude. I'm doing $5,000 for trivia.
Right. Sorry, Jim.
You can take that up with Mr. Hill. I hear he's a pretty big guy too. So
And a free pair of Hey Dudes.
yeah. And a free pair of Hey Dudes. He could do that, you know. Man, those are mine. Put them down.
I don't think I'll come back on here without a hat.
Why? What's wrong with your
My
head?
forehead's too white, man. I see myself and it's like weird looking.
No, it looks good. Looks good.
That's weird looking.
I'd probably wear one.
You know, no, I'm not gonna say anything mean. Mom said if you can't say nothing nice, don't say it.
What happened?
I'm not saying anything.
Will you tell us at dinner?
Yeah, I'll tell you at dinner. So that wraps up the show tonight. And Billy, I appreciate you coming, buddy.
Yeah, man.
I really do.
It's always fun.
I don't get to see you. I mean, I did get to see you in Florida at our first event down at St. John's River, and hopefully, I'll get to see you next week at Pickwick. But you don't know if you're coming or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
When you gonna?
How far away is Pickwick? Like 6 hours?
7 hours.
7?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang,
You
man.
can ride with
that's-
me if you want to. Well, no, you won't be there that long.
Yeah, that's a long drive.
So if
man.
you come, when would you come in? What day would you come in?
I'd probably come in like Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay, so yeah, you wouldn't want to ride out with me.
Is there an airport nearby?
That's what I was saying. That's what I made airplanes.
Yeah, I mean, like I could fly out.
Yeah,
It'd be a lot easier.
7 hours, not bad. From your house, probably 6.5 hours. It's not bad.
Birmingham is the closest.
Dude, by the time you go to the airport and you fly there and you get a rental and you drive the house, it'll
Nah, man.
take you 6 hours.
Big difference.
No.
No. I'll
see,
take that hour flight.
See, I'm not.
We're leaving from Shelby, bro.
Yeah.
Just bring your bag.
Yeah.
We're on
Bring
a
your
different
bag.
page.
Yeah.
That Justin Boyd said that is a lot of forehead.
I'd probably wear a hat next time too.
Dang, Justin.
All right, y'all. I Appreciate everybody joining in. So unfortunately, I'll be gone next week. I'll try to get back on the week after that. But Thrift, if I'm not mistaken, he told me he's going to be out of town for like 3 weeks straight.
It's famous.
Yeah, well, true story. And obviously it's for tournaments, but he's got some back-to-back stuff, and we do appreciate everybody joining in. Billy, thanks again for coming. Y'all, Billy is traveling with us some this year, obviously because he's a good friend. He helps out with the crew and does a lot of. You could have. I'm just going to pay you a little side deal where you can just be my bodyguard to keep all these fools from trying to prank me in the house.
No more hot sauce and crackers.
How about we work out something? We'll talk about it.
We can work on that.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. So, thanks again for tuning in. And Billy, do you know how we sign our show out? You've been a guest.
Bam.
No, that's not. That's Scott Martin.
Oh,
That's Scott Martin's YouTube channel. That's not us.
it's not Bam.
No, it's not.
It's
Bam.
something
It's
about
close to Bam.
until next time we're going fishing. Until next time, talk fish. If you can't go fishing, talk fishing.
That's really, really close.
That's close.
Close enough.
If you're not fishing, call us and we'll talk fish.
That's close too.
Closer.
Listen, it ain't always about fishing. Sometimes we just need to talk fishing. Know what I'm saying?
That's good.
Keep going. I'm liking this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Is that not it?
No,
You just made up like 7 new ones. We're writing them down. That's good.
Yeah.
we're good with it.
Well, listen, if your wife won't let you go fishing, get online and let's talk some fishing. I mean, there's only so many that I can do.
No, but they're all good. They're all good.
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. When we can't go fishing, we'll sit right here and we'll talk fish.
I said that.
Bam.
See y'all next time.
Bam!
Thank you for listening to Let's Talk Fish. Visit our private Facebook group to continue the conversation, post your questions, and talk with other fellow anglers at facebook.com/groups/Let's Talk Fish. Follow us on Instagram at Let's Talk Fish Official and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more exclusive content. Join us again next episode for more actionable tips, tactics, and techniques directly from the pros. And remember, when we can't go fishing, we're going to sit right here and talk fish.